Hi, my name is Curt, and this is Curt Reviews. Today we're going to look at the Martin OME Cherry sides and back. I'll tell you more about it in a second. Hi, my name is Curt. This is Curt Reviews. At Curt Reviews, we do reviews that are short and to the point. We'll get right to it. This is the Martin OME Cherry Natural, and I want to tell you about it today. And I'm going to be, for reference sake, utilizing my Santa Cruz F Indian Rosewood Sitka Spruce Top. I've had it for about 15 years. And we'll use that today simply for the point of giving you something to reference in the way that this wonderful guitar sounds. So let me tell you about the Martin OME Cherry Natural. I recently picked this up for my wife, and she has been playing guitar for roughly, 20 years or so. And she, though, in the last 6 months has really taken off. She had taken lessons years ago. She is a singer, a worship leader, really a fantastic, amazing songwriter and singer. And about 4.5 years ago or so, we picked her up a baby Taylor. And my wife is like 5'2", and so she really fell in love with this baby Taylor and has really enjoyed it. But over the last several months had really been taking off and getting really like a resurgence of inspiration. So for our anniversary, I wanted to get her something nice. And so after many years of owning personally a lot of guitars, I've had 5 Santa Cruzes, I've had Andersons, I've had Gretches, I've had Goodalls and Taylors and Langyons, which were quite nice, and I've had Collings. So a lot of different guitars. I'd never had a Martin. And I just felt like the Martin was going to fit her really well. So, and of course, I've always been a fan of Martins. I've just never owned one. So, picked her up this and did a lot of research. So, what I want to do during this review is also tell you what I learned about Martin guitars as really a newcomer. I'll tell you why I picked this for her. It's interesting. I actually had a Santa Cruz OM that I had picked the wood out from the factory for. Had gone to the factory, picked it out. At the time, again, I think I had 5 Santa Cruzes then. So got the OM, put it in a Colton case. It was beautiful, it was wonderful. But I'm 6'2", and I oddly felt like it was too small. It felt just awkward to me. I was used to dreadnoughts, and this again is an F, which is kind of a small jumbo. So I wasn't used to smaller guitars like this. So where I would personally find this guitar, though amazing, it's so wonderful and so lovely. I really bought it from my wife. But let me just give you a couple details about the guitar. It is a OM, and it has the triple O body style. I did not know what that meant until just a few months ago. The triple O body style is a classic Martin body size. So the triple O, though the same body shape as this, the actual triple O's are shorter, from what I understand, by 1 fret. So they do not have this length of a neck, okay? So it's really wonderful. I'm really impressed with this guitar. It has the antique white binding, which is very lovely. You can see that. And there were other reviews where I think they'll show you, I think, even better. But wanted to give you my ideas on it. So the antique white binding, I think after, my Santa Cruz, interesting enough, has some antique white binding, or it's just become an antique, one of the two, after being like 15 years old. Okay, so though it has the 14 fret body style, there are 20 frets total. These up here, of course, I don't know that you'd be able to utilize them without the cutaway, but total of 20 frets, but it's the 14 fret body style. So the double O and the triple O's, and I believe the single O's only have the 13 frets to the body. So that's one of the things about this guitar. It has, I think, really wonderful classic tuners. They're the open gold tuners that are really lovely, and I think they will serve the guitar really well. The guitar, I am really impressed with this guitar. The Sitka spruce top is, after having had a lot of guitars, this is really quite beautiful. So as I expected, Martin's, as I really expected, it didn't diminish at all what I thought it was going to look like. So quite lovely and beautiful. One of the things that I found really unique about the guitar is that it is that cherry sides and back. So I'd never heard of cherry wood before, but I knew from what I had researched that it sounds like maple. So it has kind of that, if you will, higher end tone. So I'm used to Indian rosewood guitars, or I've had some Brazilian rosewood guitars also. So this, on the other hand, has that cherry. So you'll see a little bit of how it sounds. I'll play it for you for a little bit. Now, I will say that my Santa Cruz has medium gauge strings on it. So I tend to prefer those, and I often will utilize tuning the guitar down to, like, D. We'll tune the whole thing down one step or half step. So the medium gauge strings are something to consider. But of course, man, the OME Cherry is really sounding amazing. Let me show you a couple other things. Say that this is really tight, where the Santa Cruz is really big and is quite boomy, and I love that. I played this guitar a lot through the years in a lot of places, recorded with it, all that, toured with it, the whole thing. This is it's still very precise, and yeah, you can still dig into it, which is really something. So yeah, I'm impressed. Sounding amazing. Let's see how it capos up. Now, I don't like to have to typically have to retune if you're going to capo up, but let me just, for kicks, see if I capo up to the 5th fret, if it holds its tuning, and how it sounds. Yeah, it feels to me like it, stays quite in tune. I mean, a guitar to get capoed up 5 frets and to hold its tuning says a lot about how well it's made, the intonation on it, etc. So that's quite good. Let's see how the Santa Cruz does with the same thing. Let's see how the Santa Cruz does if we capo it up 5 frets. Now, these are brand new strings I just put on tonight, but let's see. I will say, I mean, to me, this guitar, one of the reasons I've loved it so much through the years is that it has a great dynamic range. So if I punch it, it can be very gentle. So maybe this guitar, I don't know, but this one seemed to jump when I would, maybe it feels a little more subtle. Maybe the dynamic range is quicker to respond on it, which, depending on your likes and dislikes, could be worth checking into. Let's see how they respond to a cut capo. So I like to use those a lot. Now, to me, this is where the guitars could really prove to be very different, and depending on what guitar you're looking for. Again, I like a big boomy guitar. I like one that I can really dig into. So this is, let's see. Yeah, compared to the Santa Cruz, right? It is quite brighter, and depending on what you go for. So let's hear how it sounds. Say instantly, you know, this is really even. I mean, it's just even and very steady, where when you punch that, it jumps more, and this just stays really just even and nice and beautiful, if that's what you like. Where this, when I'm playing it, so in the context of a band, maybe this guitar just being steady would take less of your sound man chasing it. I will tell you that this guitar, my Santa Cruz, when I really dig into it, the dynamic range is bigger in it. And for example, if I'm like, even pull-offs on this guitar are much more dynamic. But this one, maybe to me, this is a little safer and plays very even and responds really well. Let's try. Okay, let's try this, just watching how it responds. Let's see this. So what I'm looking for here, this is very even, just nice and steady. But this right here, a lot of times I will pedal here. Now again, these are light gauge strings and a smaller body guitar, and it's there, it's very present. But let me try it on the Santa Cruz and you'll get the difference. Okay, so again, bigger body guitar, Indian rosewood. It's got not the satin finish, it's got a very glossy finish. So I know those things play into the resonating of the guitar and other things. And these are medium gauge strings, but it will give you a representation of what that's doing. So again, watch if I'm pedaling that, which I like to do. So this is, again, bigger strings, bigger body. So I think the thing with this is it's very steady. Very nice, but just different. Okay, here's something, that will give you reference. I often like to use two capos. And I will tell you that tuning with that in mind gets tricky. So let's see, the Santa Cruz, I think, one of the reasons I love it is that it responds well to two capos. It stays in tune when it's set up well. And Michigan winters, when they get really dry, you have to watch it. But all right, let's try the OM. The reason I often use two capos is because I want to be able to sing something in a different key. So, okay, so right out of the gate, what I'm looking for, that's great, man. Because I will tell you, an inexpensive guitar that is not, this is the difference between, something like this. This is, by the way, it's like $1,700. So that's not, where this is, I won't even tell you a lot more. But, the difference, if you're wondering, why is it different? When I put two capos on a guitar, a $300 or $400 or $500 guitar likely is not going to respond well to that. We'll see, but in my experience, not. So it whacks the intonation out so much. And the immediate thing I'm looking for is it in tune still? Or do I have to go retune it? And even with this guitar and other high-end guitars, Conley's, all that, sometimes you have to tweak. But on this one, look, I haven't retuned it, and it's in tune. And it's even, wow. Yeah, this is really, really nice. I will tell you, on this I play elixirs. People have strong opinions about those things. So you're hearing a little fret, which some people like, So you're hearing more of the left-hand sound in this. So it's not the guitar, it is the string choice. But, I hope you're getting something out of this. All right, last, let's just see, just simple straight ahead strumming, just to kind of give you reference. sitting, above it, of course. So from what I can hear, it's really a nice even sound. Let me show you the other. So again, these guitars, the reason I'm showing you both of them, if you play a dreadnought or you play, something that's like a jumbo, big Gibson or something, this Santa Cruz here is kind of giving you a reference of bigger strings. Immediately that is a different sound. This is the sound that I'm more used to be honest. But that is beautiful, so nice. But let me see if I can remember what I just played on the other one. One last thing I want to try, maybe you're curious. I want to know how it holds drop D. So here is the Santa Cruz. Okay, so the Santa Cruz in drop D. So this guitar is lighter. I mean, it's so much lighter than my Santa Cruz. It's a smaller body. So if you like that lighter guitar, then, even just kind of going between the two, this is light. And so I can understand why people would enjoy that. But let's see how it holds drop D. All right, so if you've watched to the end, this is a lot. If you if you're curious about such things, this guitar is amazing. Now it's not as dynamic as this. I mean, this you could, the dynamic range I think in this is quite brighter, quite bigger. But this has really amazing response, amazing, when you're cabling it in different places. To me, it's not a guitar that I would dig in and play super hard. I think it's very even and very steady and very, again, for the money, a Martin for this price. And you could tell it's incredible quality. Really, really something. So recommend this, and I'll let you know how the double O feels. That guitar is going to be quite small, and I'll put together something of my wife playing it also. So hope you've enjoyed. This is Curt Reviews.